Good morning and welcome to today's Smart Business Strategies podcast. I am Anna Wiles, the franchise economist. I am thrilled that you're here today. I have got an absolutely amazing guest to tell you about an amazing franchise. Rob, welcome to the show. This is Rob Sturrock with HomeVestors. Everybody in the audience knows them as We Buy Ugly Houses. So welcome aboard.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me today.
I am so excited. I am not kidding. All right, so this is absolutely, audience, one of my very favorite franchises, period. So Rob, shed a little bit of light about you and HomeVestors and your role with them.
I bought a franchise, a HomeVestors franchise, the We Buy Ugly Houses people, in 2005. So it's been 20 years. I've been a franchisee the whole time, buying, fixing, and selling houses. And then about 8 years ago, I became a development agent. Development agent, the best way to describe it is probably a business coach. So I help new franchisees, and I just use the knowledge that I have over the last 20 years to help them with their business and grow it and build the business they want to build.
Well, it is an amazing business. So let's talk a little bit more about what separates HomeVestors from any other real estate related franchise.
Well, one of the things that comes to mind is we have great lender relationships. And so, when you think of like buying, fixing, selling houses, people think, well, not only do I have to have the money to buy the franchise, but how do I buy these houses? How do I fund these houses? We have awesome lender relationships. And we have those great relationships because franchisees are good business owners, and we're a great risk, and we get great rates, and it's a great opportunity to help grow the business, is leaning into those vendor relationships. It's also
I'm sorry, I want to just emphasize to the audience how amazing that is. These are rates and relationships that you could not have on your own because they're nationwide, right? You're not limited to your local market, and with the clout and the 30-year track record of HomeVestors, you're going to be buying into all of that, right?
Yeah, it's a proven business model. We've got close to 1,000 franchisees throughout the country that do this, and a lot of the value is leaning into those franchisees. We all support each other and help each other. We don't view each other as competitors. We view each other as all on the same team, and how do we help and grow and learn together.
Collaborators, and y'all have mastermind groups basically on a regional level. Is that right?
Yeah, what we have is so for me, I have an ad council, and so that's how we pool our dollars for advertising. So I can kind of explain that a little bit, but in Milwaukee, let's say we have 10 franchisees. We meet every month. What are you buying? What are you selling? What contractors are you using? And then I advertise into that ad council, and then I get the portion of calls that come back. So if I'm 10% of the ad spend, I get 10% of the calls. If I'm 50% of the ad spend, I get 50% of the calls. And that's up to me to decide. It works really well.
So finding people or people finding you is not really a challenge at all, is what it sounds like. Describe the role of the owner. How is he or she spending their time every day?
So what I do is, as a new franchisee, let's say, your phone's going to ring. And when your phone rings, you're going to answer it. You're going to talk to a seller, and you're going to find out why they're calling. You're going to set an appointment. You're going to go meet with them. You're actually going to go to the house. You're going to take a look. Why are you looking to sell? What are some of the problems? So, it all starts with the phone call. It all starts with the lead from a seller who's looking for us to come up with a solution to their problem. And their problem is they have a house that they don't want anymore. And typically those houses aren't retail ready, meaning it's not something they could just list. It's something that maybe needs work, or maybe it's a timing issue. And so we go out, we meet with them, we make an offer. If it's something that works for them, we're going to buy that house. And then there's the second half. I have to do something with the house. Am I going to do a full rehab? Am I going to do a partial rehab? Am I going to maybe sell it to another investor just to speed up the process and the cash flow for the business? Or am I going to consider maybe keeping it as an income property and keep it as a rental house.
So those are 4 typical exit strategies for once a property is acquired. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. And then there's a development agent just like you that if someone's not sure what to do, they just give them a call. And you are a typical example, someone with 20 years experience as a franchisee, mentoring, guiding, and coaching that franchisee through the process.
That's right. And DAs do it because they enjoy doing it and they're passionate about coaching and helping people get where they want to go. And, everyone's different. Everyone has a different experience. Some people don't need small business help. Some people do. Some people need real estate or construction. We're here for anything and everything that they may need with their business. And that changes over time too. I mean, I have franchisees who have been in the system 12 years. I still talk to them every month. They have different things they need. Maybe we're doing more 40,000 foot planning versus, the nuts and bolts of a first year franchisee.
I just love the culture. Y'all aren't the franchisees aren't competitors. They're sounds like y'all mentor each other, nurture and support each other, share best practices, and help each other be successful.
I mean, I went to a wedding last month of a franchisee's son, and there were other franchisees there. I mean, it's a neat culture, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That really speaks volumes. And one thing that I really want the audience to make sure that they heard is that this ad council does ads. So if you contribute 10% to the ad budget, you get 10% of the leads that come in. And so what this means for the audience is there is no cold calling. I want to be sure that people understand that. You're not knocking on, going door to door asking people, do you want to sell your house? People assume that this is not the case.
No, it's not. And we're always teaching franchisees to lean into relationships and build on those. You're going to get leads from your title company. You might get leads from realtors. You might get leads in the course of, continuous business referrals. And we also teach that and help people to kind of leverage the brand and make sure people know, who you are and what you do, just like you would in any small business.
Mm-hmm. And Rob, who makes an ideal candidate for HomeVestors? Do you need to come from real estate? Do you need to come from construction? Do you need to have owned a small business before? I mean, is there any particular industry or background that's really necessary to be successful with HomeVestors?
I've seen people from every bucket come in and find success. I think the common theme is people that are willing to come in and follow a system, not try to recreate the wheel, and do the work. Answer the phone, go on the calls, do the follow-up, get the houses fixed, get the house sold and do it over again. Those people are the same people that show up to convention and they show up for our monthly calls and they're fully engaged business owners who follow the system. Those are the folks that find the most success.
So this is a full-time owner-operator franchise opportunity.
It is. I do occasionally have people start off part-time where they are, still keeping their I call it their W-2 job for maybe the first 12 months, day job. Mm-hmm. Like we do have those folks. I have one right now. Typically I see people transition out of that after about 12 months. That's not necessarily the norm, but it's definitely a possibility and an opportunity if it's the right fit. It's something that's talked about through the process, of finding out whether it's a good fit or not.
All right, let's talk about the labor model. So we talked about how clients are acquired or leads are generated. What about getting the work done?
So there's two parts of this. There's there's the office side. Those are the things that I do as a owner operator, and at some point people look at it and they say, well, what do I really enjoy and what do I excel at? And so for a lot of folks early on, it's I'm going to get someone to answer my phones, or I'm going to get someone to help me with my lead management. I'm going to get somebody to help me with the admin side of things. And then, once you start acquiring these houses and you're starting to work on them, typically people are starting out doing like a flooring and paint, maybe not a full remodel because that needs a different level of contractors. And people are finding contractors from ad council members. We're coaching franchisees on how to find contractors. Typically, you're not Googling people. When you're driving down the road and you see a roofer, you're getting out and you're talking to them and you're meeting people and you're building relationships. And for a roofer, someone that can give them 5 or 10 or 12 roofs a year, you're a great customer and you're going to get better rates. So, that just takes time and work, and we coach people on how to lean into that and build that contractor database.
Didn't you say you had an electrician you've had for many years and a roofer that you've had for many years?
Yeah, I've had my roofer. I actually met my roofer at a closing. I sold him a vacant lot. And I was sitting there, and my wife and I said, well, what do you do? He said, I'm a roofer. And we've been using him since. And that was probably over 12 years ago. Same thing with my electrician. It came from another ad council member. I've been using him for 10 plus years. You build these relationships and you take care of your contractors. You pay them on time. You have clean job sites. You're organized. They're not running around bidding 10 jobs to get one. Right? They come in, they do fair work, they charge you a fair price, and it's a win-win for everybody.
My husband had a paint contracting franchise many years ago. And the thing that spoke to me is, these contractors want to have a relationship with someone who's just going to feed them the work. They don't want to market. They don't do a business plan. They don't follow their KPI. They want to do whatever their trade is, because that is what they do. So someone who's going to go out and get the business and hand deliver it to them, they are very motivated to do an excellent and outstanding job so that keeps coming. Have you found that to be the experience?
I think you're spot on. It's 100% what it is. You have the owner operators and they love what they do. They don't want to spend time giving bids all day, because if they do that, they can't do the work.
Right.
They want the folks that just give them the work. And like I said, they're fair, pay them on time, good to work with. It's got to be a win-win relationship.
Rob, this show is called Smart Business Strategies. You've covered several, but what is, a real takeaway you want the audience to have about HomeVestors?
It's a proven model, and it's a system, and it comes with a great culture of people that are there to support and for you to learn from. And as I mentioned earlier, we just have some really great vendor relationships that you just can't get anywhere else. To help you grow and scale and help you build the business you want to build.
Rob, this has been so insightful. If someone wants to learn more about HomeVestors, what do you suggest they do?
Oh, this is an easy one. I'd have them call you, Anna. Exactly, who the right fit is and how to work them through the process. So I'd encourage anybody that's interested to find out more, reach out to Anna.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, Rob. And thank you for being here. Audience, this is Rob Sturrock with HomeVestors. We buy ugly houses. Thank you, Rob. This has been great.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And audience, thank you for watching and listening. I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite franchises like ever. And we ran out of time to talk about how many of your franchisees have created legacies, generational wealth, consistent cash flow from rental properties they've acquired through this process. It's just a huge opportunity, but it's not right for everybody. But if you want to learn more, just reach out to me and I'll be glad to help you figure out if this is a potential good match for you as an investment. All right, audience, come back next Wednesday at noon. You're going to hear about a restoration franchise. And if you have never really taken a deep dive on that, come back next week. It can be quite lucrative, as can HomeVestors, and you're going to want to learn more. My name is Anna Wilds. I'm the franchise economist. See you next Wednesday at noon for 15 minutes, and I hope you are wildly wealthy in all areas of your life. Bye-bye.